for us, just the biggest thing is just building off last year. I mean, you look at the team we were last year, not to totally reflect in the past, but you look at, we did a lot of really good things, and now you add the additions we added, we only look to continue to build. We make some different, schemes and different ways to approach our offense. I think that's something that'll really open up, the lanes for myself, for Darius, but also being able to free up Ev, free up Max, so like different different ways to kind of, attack. And like I said, on a given night, just choosing whether to take away the three, to allow the paint, the lob, so a lot more versatility for sure.
There's been a lot of praise heaped on Evan Mobley. What do you expect from him in year 3 and beyond?
Yeah, in his career, I believe he's going to be one of the best players in this game. As the time goes on, he's continuously showing it. For somebody that's in his 3rd year, to have the expectation that's put on him is not the easiest, and he's seeming to just go out there and kill it. You know what I'm saying? So for him, just continue to be a dominant force defensively like he was. I thought obviously we all thought he should have won Defensive Player of the Year. Offensively, continuing to improve in different aspects, whether it's getting stronger, it's finishing the paint. Obviously, the 3-ball, continuously getting that developed. But for us right now, just continue to be that solid group, like that guy offensively. Be able to hit on screens. If we want to play 5 out, he's able to do that. But also being able to kind of stay in the paint, protect us on the backside. Also get to his half roll, playing in his spots as well. So there's so many different things that he's capable of doing, that he's been doing, and continuing to get built and developed.
What do you hope he learns or takes from his first playoff experience?
The first thing I told him was, don't. And this would have been the same thing if we had won the series. Take your experiences, take it from game to game, but don't harp on it too much. I think that's the one thing I learned. From my first playoff experience, and we beat OKC in my first playoff series. Don't, it happened. Learn your lessons, but don't sit here and think that, you made it, or in this case, obviously it didn't go the way we wanted. It's, continue to build off it. He's not that type of person, but, it's definitely something I want to keep in his ear, continue to build, and I think, to have the series go the way it went for all of us, I think it's only going to help his trajectory as a player. Not to say that he needed any more extra motivation, but I think it's something that he will continuously use on a day-to-day basis.
As a ball handler, how much easier is it when you have someone streaking around the half court like Max, and when you have someone like, obviously, George just waiting out there for 40%?
Yeah, it opens up.
Any more questions?
What? All right. No, I think, the biggest thing with Max, is just being able to, I play with someone similar with the way he moves Kyle Korver, being able to, the unpredictability of it, I think that's something that's huge, not being able to figure out, not for us, but for defenses, continuously trying to find him, and then there I have a sneak drive, now I'm to the paint, now I get into the paint, collapse, now he's in the corner, he's pulling behind on screen, so now it's like, do you go here, do you go there, and on top of that, you still have Darius Garland on the other wing as well, trying to figure it out, or myself. So I think as a ball handler, I think there's so many options that you can kind of manipulate and find throughout the course of the game to kind of free yourself up, but also free him up as well.
And in general, when you have that much room to work with, just that little open floor, how does that make it easier just for you to score yourself?
That's what I've played with before I came here. I had like Mike Boyan, Jordan Clarkson, Royce O'Neal, so I'm used to that standpoint, the spacing and that standpoint. So now it's just being able to make the simple play. Where it's getting to the basket, getting to my shots, finding guys in the corner, finding guys in the wing, finding the roller. Just kind of getting back to that, making the game easy for myself.
And unrelated to that, how do you feel like you can build off a year of experience with DG? Obviously, you're talking
yeah, I was talking about this at media day. I think there's a lot of things. You look at, I can sit here and tell you what I like to do on the basketball floor. Like, I like to come off, pin down on the right side. I can tell you that over and over again. Those are easy things, but over the course of time, you have to kind of go through those on a night-to-night basis. You have to go through those in high-intensity situations. I have to realize, okay, Don's a little tired. DJ's like, all right, cool, I can get here, or Don needs to get to the corner. Having those conversations, because it's easy for me to tell you right now, face-to-face, without going through any adversity or going through anything, and also going through success as well. So when you go through a year of trials and tribulations, just going through it together, your relationship on the floor continues to build, and I'm excited. He's a guy that, like I said, for for myself to come in, what was it, 2 weeks before camp last year, 2 weeks before camp, and then to just go out there and win 50 games, that's not an easy feat, to help win 50 games. So now it's like, okay, cool, we know what we can do. We know we can continue to get better, how we make the most, our backcourt, but also continuing to make the best with the group as well.
George shared with me the other day that Evan's defensive reminds him a lot. Do you see those similarities as well?
100%. Able to protect the rim. It's kind of funny. You look at the approach. You get beat. And you're trying to get back in front, but sometimes it's encouraged to just let Ev go get it. Go get Ev's man. The way our defensive system works. It's kind of the same with Rudy. Obviously, Rudy's 3-time defensive player of the year. I think Ev can definitely get to that point. Obviously, I think he's a guy that just covers up a lot of mistakes. And on top of that, he has Jared Allen there as well. So it creates havoc down there. I think for Evan, just continuing to build into that. For him to make first team all defense in his second year in the league, this shows the defensive prowess that he has and could potentially continue to be one of the greatest defensive players or rim protectors that play this game.
And I'm sure you saw the block when Vignana had on Wiggins the other day, and you go up against something like that against Evan in practice.
Yeah.
How do you guys get past just someone who can defend like that in space?
You try to. The easy answer is to try to put your body on them, but they have the length. So for guys like myself, you got to just find ways. There's not many, so there's no real answer. Sometimes you just got to make a tough shot. I think it was Kuminga who hit the tough baseline fadeaway over, had to shoot it high up in the air. Sometimes that's just what it's going to have to be. And then with Evan, that's what he does to guys. Hits some ultimate shots. That's what I saw with Rudy in Utah. Guys not wanting to get into the paint. So I think that's something that sometimes you guys got to make tough shots against those guys. And if they do, you tip your hat. We have great players in this league who can continuously make the tough shots over and over again. But on a night-to-night basis, that's not easy, especially when you got Ev down there in JA as well.
Darius just talked about taking more of a leadership role and taking ownership of the team. What have you seen from that standpoint from last year to this year with him?
I think, after your, first playoff experience, you look at his career in the NBA, he comes in, they don't win many games, his first few years, the coaching changed, then he gets JB, then he wins he gets to be an all-star. You look at the progression of just Darius Garland, the person himself, he's continued to improve every year of his career. And I think now he's starting to find his voice more. He's starting to understand, and I'm not going to say he's not confident, but when you have the years he's putting together, you become more sure, become more confident in yourself. No matter how confident you are, when the work that you're putting in slowly becomes and gradually builds into success, you become confident, you become more sure in speaking on different things. And I think that's what you're seeing more so from him. His game is going to be his game. He works hard. He's going to, I have no doubt, he'll be, all-star, all-NBA player. That's no doubt to me. But I think the biggest thing that you see is the confidence and understanding, all right, cool, I can sit down today and understand that I need my break as opposed to the reps, as opposed to not worrying about that. Or cool, I need to put work in, having that. Okay, cool, I need to pick my energy up because the team needs it. I need to continuously go out there. I need to sacrifice tonight. I need to go more tonight. Whatever that may be. I think that's what you're starting to see from him, and I think that's what you see from him this year as well.
How do you describe his leadership?
In different facets, I think his energy, what you just saw over here, that is him on a daily basis. Continuously having that positive energy. And I think being a leader, I think we hear leadership and we think real serious all the time. I think his is more, I don't want to call it goofy, that doesn't sound right. I want to call it playful, joyful. He brings that to the game. Brings that to our practices, brings that to our locker room, but while also maintaining the work that he puts in as well.
Going back to George, just what's it meant to you to be sort of reunited with him, and what sort of perspective has he been able to bring the rest of the team of having played with you in the past?
With G, man, it's for me. With me and him, it's real easy flowing. We can have we've been through a bunch together. We could have conversations pretty quickly about whether it's like this, positive and negative. Hey, come on, I need you. All right, good job or whatever it may be. But he's a guy that I love. That's my dog. It's great to have him back here, and I think it makes it, when we're playing, it makes it easier having a guy that's been with me for 3 years, and kind of saw the progression of myself and also himself, obviously seeing the progression that he's made. So that's definitely, always good to be able to play with, guys that you've been with and guys you've created a friendship with as well. But for the group, man, he's a voice. He kind of provides that energy, that spark, that joyfulness that I spoke about with Darius as well on a day-to-day basis. There's never a bad day with G. I think you need that, in the locker room for sure.